Have you ever looked at a woman and thought, I can't tell if she is into me or just being friendly? You read through her text messages and replay your conversations, and still something inside you feels both hopeful and nervous. What if I told you that there is a little behavior that exposes everything? That whenever she does this, she is already emotionally attached to you. Now, listen attentively, because women rarely say what they really feel at first. They signal it. And those signals are not loud or clear. They are silent, natural, and highly psychological. When a woman is truly attracted to you, her defenses change. You will detect it not in what she says, but in how her mood changes around you. It is like her emotional barriers, constructed from many years of experiences and disappointments, will begin coming down just gradually. She starts to reveal her real self bit by bit, sometimes without knowing it. The terrible mistake many men make. They look for words rather than patterns. A woman's attraction is not expressed in words. It leaks out through little behaviors. She begins to imitate your tone, imitate your rhythm, and use your phrases. It's a subconscious imitation, a psychological sign of connection. Whenever she does this, she is no longer acting a role. She is connecting with you. Her nervous system feels comfortable around you. Think about that. Safety for a woman is not about physical protection. It is about emotional connection. If she laughs more openly, keeps soft but prolonged eye contact, or begins making some personal confessions, she is already attached, not physically but emotionally. Her barrier is falling, and that is the moment many men miss or destroy because they either jump in with seeking approval behavior or they doubt it and pull back. But the reality is, when she starts to emotionally connect with you, she has already made an internal choice. She might not confess it. She might even fight it. But in her heart, she is saying, this guy feels unique. So the question is not whether she likes you. It is whether you can detect these signs before you drive them away. And if you learn to do that, everything about how you interact with women transforms forever. Here's the painful reality: many men destroy attraction not because women lose interest, but because they have no idea how fragile that emotional flame is. When she begins feeling something for you, she does not want to. She fears it. Attraction for women is not a choice. It's an emotional submission. And submission happens when she senses strength and unpredictability, all in harmony. If she does that thing, leans in slightly closer than necessary, keeps talking when the conversation should have ended, or gives you that gaze that lingers half a second too long, she's testing your vitality. She is not asking, do you love me? She is quietly asking, are you anchored enough for me to allow my guard down? Because women do not fall for men they understand. They fall for the men they feel. This is where many men stumble. You begin justifying yourself, sharing too much, showing you're a wonderful man. But to her nervous system, that reads as emotional turmoil. You are striving to get what was already being freely given to you. Attraction disappears the instant she knows that you need it. What she really desires is to feel comfortable in your uncertainty, to feel your calmness when her emotions fluctuate. When a woman's attraction intensifies, she becomes emotionally vulnerable in subtle ways. She will begin making excuses to interact, asking irrelevant questions, or humorously challenging your opinions. It's not random. It's her subconscious urging emotional proximity. She wants to find out whether you can meet her where she hides. If you respond to such humor with confidence, not arrogance, not aloofness, she feels appreciated, not criticized. And that's when she starts to connect. Because connection cannot be developed through intensity. It is developed through consistency of presence. You don't have to chase her. You only need to stay centered while she chooses to step closer. Ladies, don't fall for what you say. They fall for the way you make them feel when you say nothing. That calm confidence, that anchored silence, it's what her intuitions desire. She is not attracted to approval. She is attracted to stability. So when she begins to give you her vitality, her attention, her compassion, her curiosity, don't analyze it. Let it breathe. That is how you keep her engaged. That's how you transform brief attraction into permanent emotional attachment. Let us be honest for a second. You cannot make a lady love you. You can only become the kind of man whose emotions she feels secure loving. That is the reality that nobody tells you. Because genuine attraction cannot be developed through strategies or games. It is developed through emotional weight. And that weight occurs when you stop trying to impress her and begin showing calm masculine confidence. When she is into you, she doesn't need fancy gestures. She just wants to feel your anchored presence. That means your voice, your eye contact, and your silence, they all reveal something more profound than words ever could. If she's giving you her full attention, she is scanning, can this guy handle my feelings without losing himself? If the response is yes, her interest deepens. If the response is no, if she feels your energy change depending on her reaction, her inclinations pull away. Women subconsciously evaluate strength, not physical, but emotional control. They will throw small obstacles your way, not to hurt you, but to prove you're not delicate. She might tease you, doubt your motives, or appear a little aloof after showing interest. Many men get worried and begin to chase harder, but that is exactly when you should do the opposite. Relax, stay grounded, and let her return, because she will. If she notices that your value isn't dependent on her approval, when she feels it, something inside her transforms. You stop being just another man, and you become the emotional foundation she didn't realize she needed. She begins to open up in greater detail. Her stories get more and more personal. Her tone relaxes, and she starts to mimic your calmness. That's not a coincidence. That's an emotional connection. She is saying without words, I trust you with my secret. And here's the deal, when she starts to rely on you emotionally, attraction transforms into a bond. That is when you stop being an alternative and start being a presence in her thoughts. Even when you're not around, she will be thinking about you. Not because of whatever you did, but because of how she felt when you were relaxed, certain, and honest. That is the secret many men never understand. You cannot win a woman's heart by chasing her energy. You win it by securing yours. Here's where it gets more complicated, because when she's already into you, her behavior becomes contradictory. She could act colder, pull back, or unexpectedly become unpredictable. And this frustrates many men. They think she is losing interest, but in real life, she's protecting herself. You have touched something deep in her that she had no intention for, and her mind begins to resist her feelings. Attraction triggers her vulnerability, and weaknesses stress most women that have been hurt before. This is where your reaction decides everything. When you begin chasing, messaging more frequently, asking what's wrong, and over-explaining, you reinforce her concern that your calm was conditional. But if you stay calm, kind, and unshaken, something amazing happens. She starts to relax back into your vitality. Because a woman's darkest desire isn't to be chased. It's to trust the man who doesn't lose his soul when she tests it. Remember this, when she's emotionally connected, she will sometimes create little storms only to be sure you won't abandon her when they happen. Not consciously, but naturally. She wants to feel that you can hold room for both her softness and her wild nature. The men who fail this test are the ones who take her comments personally. They become defensive, cold, or desperate. But the man who passes. He pays attention, he breathes, and he responds, not reacts.